All right. It seems that we're live now. I want to welcome everyone who is watching this live stream. Tuesday, May 6, 2025. Thank you very much for tuning in to this live stream. Thank you those who are taking the time. Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. I want to say thank you to those who were here with me on Sunday night, and those who watched in this case, the recording too. They have watched the recording. If you haven't watched it, you're welcome to go back. We reacted to the Star Wars Day, the boot tour from Sideshow Collectibles. Pretty quick video in the sense that the presentation they had was like less than 30 minutes. But then, of course, we went into detail throughout that video about the stuff that is on pre-order, other stuff too, where we talk about Iron Studio, some other stuff that did not show up there, but it's also went on release for Star Wars. But there were a lot of things, of course, that they were released after Sunday. They have been released in the last 2 days. So there are other companies also released stuff last week that were not Star Wars related. So in this video, I want to cover those things. Of course, I want to give room to all the companies and what they're producing, whether you are a toy collector, a statue collector, whether you love collectibles in any shape or form. We cover as much of the stuff, of course, anything that has to do with fandom, anything that has to do with comics, entertainment, all of that. That's what we cover on this channel. And I want to welcome you all. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Knight, again, my good friend, always watching the videos. I know that you normally don't watch the videos sometimes through the night or the moment of the event, but I know you always go back and watch it throughout the day, and I always appreciate it because you always leave your comments in my videos. Thank you, Knight. I appreciate your friendship and your support. And anyone else who watches this, don't forget to leave a like, to leave a comment. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching from, what is it that you like, the things that you want to pre-order, the things that caught your attention, the things that you don't care so much about it. Let me know in the comments, and I'll always love to chat with you. And don't forget to leave a like, to leave a comment, of course. Whether you're watching this live, you can do it through the chat, or you can do it in the future in the recording. You can leave your comments there. Follow me. You're here for the first time. You like the contents of this channel, you like what I produce. Please be supportive by just following the channel, by subscribing to it. Follow me on social media, on Facebook, on X, on Instagram. The links are in the description. And also consider supporting the channel financially. You can do that through Patreon or the super chat. Anything that you can do to help really helps me to push this content and create better content for you. So my friends, let's get into it. Welcome everyone. And one thing I want to cover and really cover tonight, and again, thank you for being supportive. One thing that I do after this video is done, I will have by tomorrow, you have timestamps in the video, so you can always go to the different sections of the video. If there's something that you are more interested on, something that you care about, we can always look at that. You can actually go to that section. It's anything that you're only interested on, you're interested in, watch the whole video. You don't have time to watch the whole video, which I understand, but you can actually go and pick and choose the things that you care about. All right, so let's get into it, and let me here in the chat what we're gonna do first. Let me grab my phone because that's where I have my notes. All right, I have the notes here for you. And the first thing that I want to do before we get into the action, we're gonna go always we go by scales, by companies, action figures, move into statues and all. I want to talk about a Kickstarter campaign. I did mention this, of course, from Transformers. Here you can see the final hours of Transformers. Last chance for Transformers. Don't miss the funded comic campaign ever. We're gonna go there. I did pave in and I supported it, and I'm one of the backers here, and it's already over as you can see, over 4 million, and it keeps growing. It really surpassed all expectation. As you can see, I supported this campaign. I'm really happy, excited for it. Just to give you an idea, everything has been unlocked. Now they're pretty much running into the speed run with all the last minute things that you can do. They reached 4 million today, and they only have less than 24 hours. They are planning or thinking that they can reach a 5 million. So there's another million within the next less than 24 hours. So this campaign ends in noon at tomorrow. If you do that, they're gonna do more of those, the spec cards that they've been adding. Just to give you an idea for anyone who is who hasn't seen this campaign, all the rewards that were produced here. I actually pre-ordered the version that has the Optimus version, and not Optimus Prime, the Autobots version. I did order that, and as you can see, there's so much stuff that has been released. A lot of add-ons. I also grabbed those, and some print sets, all of that. It's insane. Let me see. Let me see what we can get. So I got the Autobot to all-in-one bot set. That's what I got. And I don't know if you can see it. That's actually the Grimlock version. I pledged for that one. It comes with everything, but also comes with all the add-ons. And it came out really pricey at the end because you add a lot of different things. 3 prints, the pins, all of that stuff, art prints, all that stuff. I added pretty much everything that was offered. I definitely when I carried away, but I did the same. I have everything for the G.I. Joe set, and I love that set. I think it's an amazing set. So everything has been released so far. Look at the rewards. Here, the website is a little weird, but I've been doing, if you go through the phone, you can see a lot more. All the different versions available there, all the rewards, all that. On the campaign, just to give you an idea what's going on right now. The last million, so all the stretch goals has been unlocked, and these are the ones just for the speed run, and they're gonna add different characters like Omega Supreme, Cyclonus, Rodimus Prime. A lot of people were saying that they should have done like they reach every 50,000 rather than 100,000, because at this point a lot of people already pledged. I think most of the people already pledged. So there's different sets, of course. We talk about it. There's the Compendium, the US and UK Compendium set, if you want to just that. What I like about the bigger set is that it has everything combined, all the stuff combined in the order that it needs to go. So I went for that one, and again, I love I went for the Autobot one, which I love that red. On the G.I. Joe, I went for the Joe set, and it has all this classic, of course, comics, pretty much everything that has been produced of the original era from Marvel Comics and Marvel UK. And it just looks amazing. Everything that is gonna come with it says, I want to review the box of G.I. Joe. I haven't done it. Now that I'm in the house, now that I'm established, and now I'm gonna start doing more reviews. I'm right now trying to improve my lighting so I can start doing reviews again. So that's something that I'm working on. But soon I'll be start going back into book reviews. But here, pretty much all the different the tech cards, all the spec cards, all of that is there that have been released. Because I order the Autobot one, I have to also order the Decepticon set apart, because that doesn't come with that, but you can buy it separately. So I went for that. The rewards, of course, this is a signed plate. I didn't, because that's for the first 500. I didn't get the opportunity to get. By the time I got there, it was already late, so I didn't get the chance. It comes with the digital PDFs, so I got those. I'm gonna get those too. I've been actually enjoying the G.I. Joe set. I've been reading it digitally through the PDFs that were provided, which I like, and it's been fun. Pretty much I've been reading those comics every night. Really, brings back memories, but also enjoying it because I never really read the whole run. I've been able to read it and actually see what such an amazing comic book run was. It's amazing. So I recommend that you're able to read them and find them. Go for it. But it comes with all these different things. This you can see every bonus that was available. Also, I grab. I don't know. I'm trying to go down so we can go and see what's extra. All the stuff that is there. This is what comes there, of course, with all the sets. Spot gloss, things on the box. The art print, the posters that were provided, which are great. The foil was added to the lettering. I got have to order the stickers, which are just simple stickers. I just like to have extra, and I have, of course, I order besides the ones I already were part of the set that I won, the reward that was given. I took the Decepticon ones, also the gilded pages, which is awesome. This extra coins, there's a coin that was provided front and back. I did get the pins. There were some comics that were given. I got the add-ons only. In this case, the original art and different variations. I ordered those two. I add them to it. So everything is there. You can see. I haven't decided if I want to get an extra lenticular print. I might just simply leave it like that. I love lenticular prints. I might just leave it the way it is, but I did grab this, of course, Transformers number 5 Kickstarter exclusive full art variant. I grabbed that one. The extra, this one doesn't come. You don't unlock that one. You would have to order that separately. I also got the black and white Transformers number 2 reprint. The same thing, the Transformers 67 reprint in black and white, and that is actually the art by Jim Lee, so I ordered that one. And you also can get an extra Soundwave, but this also are for all the orders, you're gonna get one. So, but you want to get an extra, then you can order. I might just not order that. I'm just adding. I just added the things that that were different, or the things that I didn't have, or they were not coming with the set that I order. The extra bonus parts, I order those. So it's kind of cool. It's already done, so that means that whoever has this pretty much order, it's done. Supposedly, once it's done, you'll be charged tomorrow. I guess on the backer kit, they allow you to kind of change things. You'll receive maybe a message where you can add on any extra before you do the payment or whatever. So we'll see what happens. But the point is that it's a done deal. You know, it's gonna be on production. I'm glad that I was able to order it. Very happy for it. Definitely, this is the biggest Kickstarter that they have done, as they do right here on the updates, on the final update. This is, again, only one left, and this is the, as you can see, this is in less than 24 hours left of the historic campaign. That's right. Not only did we have the most funded day one ever, because they did, I don't know how, the first day they did over $1 million. We are now officially the most funded campaign in comics Kickstarter history. So over $4 million in just one comic. It surpasses even the G.I. Joe. So it's amazing. What are they gonna do next year? Who knows? Because definitely it seems that they have gained momentum. What else can they think? So people are saying maybe the IDW run, but I don't think that it will have the same appeal. Even though I love that also run, the IDW stuff, and also the Larry Hama stuff that he did for G.I. Joe. I think most people are more set on the original run of comics rather than what he did with IDW. Who knows? That might work. But I'm not sure it will be as popular. If that's the case, which I'll support it too. But I don't think it's going to be as popular as, in this case, this run has been. This too, with this classic comic books. And, you know, we'll talk about it when I review it. I want to go in detail with them. Definitely congratulations to them. Congratulations to Skybound and the people involved in this Kickstarter. I think they have done a fantastic job. Really looking forward to the set when it comes. Supposedly in December. There might be delays in next year, but regardless what it is, whenever it comes, I'll be happy to share how I feel about that set. All right, so that's what I wanted to share for first. This is for collectors or comic books. You know, you're a comic book collector. I will tell you right now is your chance to go for it. There will be others available because also they've been ordered by different retailers. Hey, what's up, Batman? How you doing, my friend? But those, you know, also they go out quick. And sometimes they don't have everything. They don't come with all the tiers and all that stuff. So you will be able to get some from some retailers. You know, there's always going to be a chance. I just wanted to have everything, the whole package, everything that was offered. So that's the reason I went to the Kickstarter, and I'm glad that it went through. All right, so the next thing I want to go, now that we're here, I'm going to go into action figures. And for that, I want to take you, also talking about Hasbro, we're going to go to Hasbro Pulse. And we're going to Hasbro Pulse so we can look at some of the, we're going for the classic stuff right now. Let's go for, you know, we coming out of Star Wars, of course. You know, Star Wars just, you know, May the 4th be with you. There's the two main collections that Hasbro produces, of course, as you know, the Vintage Collection. We also have the Black Series. I think those are What I love about this collections is that regardless of what it is, regardless of how people feel sometimes about it, about price or quality or whatever, they're not hot toys or they're not super high end. It's such a it's a consistent line. You know, Hasbro has maintained this line for years now, and he has produced so much stuff, and the lineup is amazing. You know, you can come up with so many amazing figures on this place, and you know, it's always something good. They are very, very, very good. So when we're looking at this, let me see. We're looking at all the stuff that is in stock here, everything that has been released, as you can see. Very cool stuff. I am going to check here to Star Wars, and we're gonna look first at the vintage collection. We're gonna look at the vintage collection. Also, these are available at you will find this, of course, at many retailers too. They're not necessarily, some of these are exclusive, as you can see right here right now, and these are sold out. These are sold out. This 3-pack and 4-pack, as you can see, this one, the Stormtroopers of the Empire 3-pack, this was sold out exclusive through Hasbro Pulse, and which is a shame, unfortunately. And man, the pictures are too large. Just to give you an idea of this set, you know, it's a set. You may be able to find them separately later down the road, of course. Vintage collection, they're very tiny, like less than 4 inches, 3 and maybe a 3/4. Very tiny figures, but this is more in line with the classic retro stuff. And they work great when you're doing the huge displays. It comes with all the accessories. And the packaging here, special action figure set pack special, is cool. Going into the classic retail, also another great thing about the vintage collection is that it does have that retro packaging that works best if you are a collector that like to keep things in box. So it's good. I love even the back of it. Pretty neat for this. Now the next thing, other things that we see, for example, we have this other one also sold out. This 4 set with the Cantina Adventure Pack, which is great. Of course, we saw some of these characters recently, of course, through Sideshow. They do the 1/6 scale if you're going for the 1/6 scale. But I think just these little ones, just like that, the tiny scale, is just more than enough. It's perfect if you're building that vintage collection. Very cool. Very neat. They'll come with their weapons. Very nice. And one thing I love is the box of this one, the Cantina Adventure set. It does have the little box in. It's kind of cool. It's really cool. And I love the vintage collection packaging is always really on point in my opinion. From the front, the back, very, very sweet. And inside, of course, you can see Snaggletooth, beautiful packaging. You can display it just like that. Greedo, Hammerhead, and a Walrus Man. And the back of those packaging, the packaging is great. So these are the ones that you definitely want to display. You know, for me, I like to get 2 figures of something. Some things to keep in box, and some things I try as much as I can. Although it's hard because, you know, for, you know, space wise, you know, like, do you have a space for all of that? So I'm self-selected, but a lot of things I do have 2 of the same with a lot of figures, particularly when it has the vintage look. I prefer it that way. And also, this other one was sold out here. This is the vintage collection Stormtrooper, sold out. You might be able to get this Stormtrooper someplace. So we're gonna actually look at Big Bad Toy Store because I'm sure it is there too. And a lot of this stuff, of course, was presented at the most recent Hasbro presentation of last week. They presented a lot of the stuff. I normally keep an eye on those videos. They're not normally in the middle of the day. Look at that packaging. Very nice, very neat. I love this symbol right there, of course. This is the thing. I'm tempted to get that one. So that is just the vintage collection. For this, look great. Now, there's another one that is on pre-order. You can find this also at Big Bad Toy Store, $16.99. I think it's a great price. And I will tell you, they did such a fantastic job with the likeness of the actor. Looks really, really good. It does have, you know, cloth. So it does have some mixed media, which is great. It's such a really nice job on the depiction of the actor. Looks great. His robe, such a nice one. This is definitely a very nice one, and I love definitely that packaging. Looks great for that little figure. Looks amazing. I think this is a very good one. If we look at Big Bad Toy Store and we look at the vintage collection, let's see, we have a section here right there, the vintage collection. You can see it's also available here. It's a little like $1 more, but I would say Big Bad Toy Store is cheaper on the shipping side. But look at all the stuff that is being on pre-order. There's so many troopers and so many great figures, like Saj Ventress right there. Amazing. You have the X-34 Land Speeder with Luke Skywalker Tatooine. I don't know if it's you, but your order keeps dropping. Still get video in real time. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you for letting me know. Let me see. I hope that it's not something going on with my audio. Yeah, everything seems to be normal from my side, but I will keep an eye on it. I hope it's not something with the mic. I keep an eye on it. Let me know if you can hear it. You still hear that? Still happens? Let me check. Oh, your audio is good. Oh, okay. Thanks, Sin. I'm sorry, Batman. Yeah, I was like, what? Maybe it's something wrong. Sometimes I have been the case. Yeah, sorry, but no, thank you, Batman. Maybe it's something to do with the Wi-Fi of the signal. So sorry for that. Sometimes it happens to me here too. Okay, thank you. Well, yeah, I was scared for a moment. I was thinking, man, I've been talking forever, and you know, like thank you for at least letting me know. It's good to know. But yeah, going back to what I was saying here, you know, the vintage collection, it's fun. You know, like I like it because, you know, there's so much thing. Like, for example, look at the Luke Skywalker X-34 Land Speeder. All these things to me are just, if you really like to build these dioramas, they're just perfect. And I was looking also this vintage, the Luke Skywalker, the X-Wing fighter, also on that $99. I think it's a fair price. And this is one that I'm really like it. And, you know, I'm not necessarily a big vintage collector like the Star Wars, but lately, you know, with the prices of statues and a lot of action figures, I've been thinking, man, maybe I need to start kind of switching gears and going into something more that I like. And I always have a fascination, particularly for toys that represent or, you know, bring back memories of the toys that I grew up. And this toys, all the retro fever that is caused, it's something that I appreciate. I love the retro stuff. I'm just a sucker for it, you know, like anything else. You know, there's a lot of things that I like, but mostly the retro stuff is my thing, you know. So this is cool. This is the vintage collection, really looking really neat. Now, going into the next collection, really moving into it, and we talked about last week about the Bantam Tusken Rider. Looks amazing. I think it's a great price for that one. It's already sold out there. It's low stock. So I will tell you, man, go for it if you're really building that vintage collection. But the next thing I want to really cover here on the Star Wars stuff, of course, we're going into the Black Series. The Black Series, of course, if you like bigger figures, that will be the next thing, the best figures they produce. Here, they have a new exclusive that just went on pre-order. This is the Black Series, a Short Trooper and the Death Trooper. I always like the Short Troopers. I love that. Actually, when I play with the Troopers on, it's one of my favorite skins when I play the Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 2 and 1. I love that skin. I always like the design, that particular design. But also the Death Trooper looks amazing, and they'll come in a set, you know, together. Of course, at some point they'll be separate. They've been separate before, but this is if you want to have them both. And one thing that they say Hasbro is really smart at doing this is that they sell the sets, because if you want to build an army, then you gotta buy different sets. Some people maybe you only care about one. You don't care about the Short Trooper. You care about the Death Trooper, but you need multiple Death Troopers. Well, one thing you can do, you can grab a few of the sets and maybe sell the Short Troopers. Vice versa, you only care about Short Troopers. You don't care about Death Troopers, or you're not building a particular set or display with them. Then you can get rid of the others and sell them. You know, you could do that. I don't know. It's a lot of options there. But here you see the other ones that have been sold out in the Black Series, the Clone Lieutenant Gale, that was sold out. Just to give you an idea. I think this one might be available someplace else. Now, the Black Series is the type of collection that I personally don't care much. I know some people make collection in box. I don't. I don't really care about the Black Series. I love the portrait on this one. Very nice. It's like mini hot toy figures without breaking the bank. And you can build as many as you like. And that's another thing. One thing I like the Black Series is that I don't necessarily care much about the packaging. You know, that can go away. I know some people care about the packaging. They collect the packaging for that. But to me, it's like, it doesn't have the retro feel. So I could care less about the packaging. It's good. Fair enough. I'll get it. If I like the character, I'll buy it. They're more common to find. But other than that, to me, it's like, I don't care about the packaging. Of course, you know, everyone is different. This one is already sold out. If we come to... Big Bad Toy Store, of course. Let's see if we can see it right there. And the Black Series, you have already Lieutenant Gale. It's available here at Big Bad Toy Store. It's already sold out at Hasbro store. But they also have the Sand Trooper. And also there are other figures that recently were announced. Like you have Han Solo. You got Night Sister Marin, which, you know, Jedi Survivor. You'll look at that video game. I like the Chewbacca. This is from the original. And I will tell you, I prefer those more on the classic side. Those are the figures that I personally will go like here, for example, when we look at the Black Series, I think they did a nice job with Han. It's at the best. You can order it here. I'm sure it will be available also at, you know, eventually at Walmart. But I think the portrait is perfect on this little figure. Is it the best? No. It's 100% accurate? No. But it's fair. It's good enough. Very nicely done. And I like the articulation. The Black Series, of course, is a bigger figure. Within the Marvel Legends side, same scale. You can go for Chewbacca right here. So pretty good. You know, you build that collection with the Black Series. What I like about the vintage collection is that you can have like the ships and all that stuff and create bigger displays. With the Black Series, I'm more selective. I do have Black Series. I don't super collect at all, but I collect the figures that I care about. You know, and I keep it that way. So you can see some of the figures that have been released. Asajj Ventress, you know, Darth Nihilus, Anakin Skywalker. So, you know, you get all of this. You can come to Big Bad Toy Store. You can go to Walmart. You can order there. So the options are everywhere for them, and that is very, very cool. Now, I want to talk about when we're talking about this. I want to mention that also the Black Series right now, there is a special for particularly because we just celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars, 20th anniversary, which is amazing to think that it's been 20 years since that happened. So Walmart, if you go to Walmart, has a special. Of course, they also have exclusives because, you know, they've been working with Hasbro. So they have the Clone Wars, Star Wars Black Series, Clone Wars, which are going to be only available. I think it's Clone Wars. Might not be. As you can see, they have a lot of the Clone Wars Black Series, many of these figures, which are amazing. But I'm trying to look at, actually, it's not Clone Wars, it's the Attack of the Clones. I think it's Attack of the Clones. I think it's Attack of the Clones. I think I'm missing here something. Let me tell you the... Alright. Star Wars Black Series. I don't remember which one is the collection that we're talking about. and it's not going to give us, and this is one of the things that I hate right there, the Black Series Revenge of the Sith. That is Star Wars Black Series Revenge of the Sith, of course, celebrating that 20th anniversary. So they released this new packaging of the Revenge of the Sith figures, a lot of these figures. The difference with these figures, and they look at, you know, they look all right, they look fine. Like, for example, when we look at this, is that they come with the classic packaging that we from that time, you know, from over 20 years ago. We have this classic, although here you can see this figure. Let's see. It's a classic figure. I think that, you know, when you look at the pictures, it looks nice. I always like this, you know, the Master Jedi image, you know, all of them. But it comes with this retro, you could call it retro in some way, but retro for 20 years ago. That packaging, I remember when this packaging came out at the stores, and at that time I wasn't collecting action figures, at least not the way that I'm doing it now. At that time I was, you know, I remember mostly there was action figures that I was collecting, but not anything that has to do with like this, you know, with Star Wars or whatever. I was collecting other things. I started at that time. I was already collecting and started to collect statues. I was collecting comic books. I remember that these figures, I was collecting diecast models. And when this came out, I remember I didn't care much about the packaging. Matter of fact, I saw the packaging and I found it ugly. But at the same time, many people who watched these films, the prequels, for them, that was their childhood and playing with the toys. So for them, it brings nostalgia. It makes me feel old. But for, you know, for a lot of people who were, you know, if you were a kid and you were playing with these toys, definitely there's nostalgia here now, 20 years later. So of course, you're going to invest in this. And I think that's what they're doing, the packaging. And you know what? After so many years, because you get old, you get more mature, I suppose, and you start appreciating things in a different way. I kind of like it. It's not a bad packaging. Now to think about it, I remember that the bubble thing was not necessarily my thing. One thing I will tell you, and I was going through the comments, a lot of people are so upset because this is a special thing through Walmart. Right now, they are shipping it in a way that is horrible. Like, you know, and this is something that Walmart is known, Target's been known for too. And that's, you look at this, they put it in a bag, they do it, and they just, like, if you're a collector that like to keep things that, you know, well kept, it's destroying the packages. So I seen so many bad reviews of this coming bad, and that was something that happened even with the originals. Is the packaging was always like, you know, it didn't fit right. And here you can see they did it again. You know, they just try to fit it in whatever box, and you know, like people who work at this location, they're not collectors. They don't care. So unfortunately, the problem is that it's an exclusive to Walmart. I'm hoping that this become exclusive through other stores, that this is just a, you know, like an like time exclusive that they have done before, and ultimately, you know, it goes out. The only way really to get this, to be honest with you, I don't recommend you to order it from Walmart. My recommendation is for you to actually go to Walmart and look for this, and hopefully they're not damaged there. Hopefully they treat it right. But right now, people are, like you can see, there's so many complaints, and every single figure, and not about this one, I think it's gonna be a set of 7. Like, for example, the R2-D2 is another one that came out here. The same packaging, as you can see. So for people that like to kind of have the collection and this R2-D2, which looks nice. I like the packaging. It doesn't look bad. And I actually like the background right there. You know, the retro, at least going back to those original figures. But here you can see the same thing. People complaining about the packaging. People really upset about the way that they've been sending it. They've been shipping them, as you can see. And this is actually the same figure. But yeah, no, I will tell you, like, don't order from Walmart to avoid any issues. Too bad that they went with Walmart. They couldn't just do it with Target. No, Target. They would do it with Amazon. At least Amazon does better. I order stuff from Amazon all the time, and it doesn't come as damaged. I don't like to order books from Amazon, but I do look other things, and they seem to be fine. With this, definitely the packaging is what is really costing so much steer right now. People are super upset, and they're pissed for obvious reasons. Like, these figures are coming too bad. Let me see the rating here. It's the same thing. Look at, well, that's the same figure. I think everybody's using the same figure, the same pictures. But just to give you an idea, like, you know, there's so many reviews. I think it's the same. For some reason, they put in the same pictures there. But look at this one, for example. Oh, man. It's the same pictures over and over. Maybe we can see some difference. I don't know what's going on because it seems like it's connecting. But other figures here, some of the pictures are also in the same vein. So, yeah, people are not happy. I will tell you. And I've seen some comments. People leaving comments also on the different groups on Facebook. And they all complain about the same thing. They're upset about it. And they're saying that was a poor choice for them. And unfortunately, it's true. When you look at it, this one, for example, is another one on this collection. The packaging. Ayala Secura is there. Always like Ayala Secura. Always like her design. You have also this Commander Cody. Also anniversary edition. So yeah, these are just for now. They're temporary. They're using this packaging. You also have the Magna Guard. So yeah, again, if you're looking for this one, it's gonna be 7 figures total, I think, on this collection. My recommendation: go to Walmart. If you have a nearby Walmart, go and try to pick it up there. Don't order from Walmart unless you want to have one of these horror stories I'm getting all over the place. People are upset with Walmart, with Hasbro, because definitely Walmart, it's never been good at when it comes about collectible toys. People that work there, even I hate to order from Walmart. I hate to order from Target. The worst with Target is that they put a sticker on things on top of the stuff and damages the cardboard on anything. So I normally don't like to order from them. I got so many things. I've ordered a few times because there was no choice, but for the most part, every time it comes, it's like I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it again. So I'd rather go to the store. I'd rather drive around and spend money on gas and get the stuff than going and having Knucklehead just put a sticker on something because he doesn't appreciate it, he doesn't understand it, or doesn't have any common sense, you know, and they damage it. So yeah, that's how it is. All right, so that's what I want to talk about to you about the action figures on this end. Now let's move into other action figures, and I'm gonna take you to Sideshow Collectibles. And again, thank you very much for watching. The reason we're coming to Sideshow, I want to talk about another continue with action figures, but now going into the a little more of a higher quality, you call it that way. Here you can see we're gonna look at some of the stuff here. A lot of the stuff that is here, we're gonna look at it. Look at this Nadia and Jean bonus version. This already, we talked about it. That's before we discussed it before. This is something that from Prime One Studio. But when we come down here, and actually it might not even be in this page because something that I skipped last week, and I said no, I'm not gonna do it. I want to go back and really cover it. It's this one right here. This is from Threezero Deluxe Iron Man Mark III Battle Damage. This is not really a huge figure, but it's, you know, it's die-cast. And Threezero does really amazing little figures that look like tiny Hot Toys for a fraction of the price, of course, a fraction of the scale. But looking at this one, it's only 6.9 inches tall, so it's a little larger than a Marvel Legends, a little larger. Closer to what you would see at the scale size of closer. A little smaller than the scale of you see with a McFarlane Toys figure, but it's fully die cast, comes with so many different parts that are made it customizable. You got different hands, you got different effects. It also, if I'm not mistaken, has a light up feature, and it looks good. It would be nice, of course, it was just like not damaged, no battle damage, but regardless, I think we already have the regular one, so now you got the battle damage type. Really looking sweet. And this is definitely an iconic, in my opinion, it's all going to be an iconic suit. Iron Man suit, the Mark III. Looks really neat. Yeah, you can do certain effects. It's very poseable. It has its own base. And the light up, I think, is great. For those who use the metric system at 17.5 centimeters, really looking sweet. When you look at the stuff on details, let me see if again, it's ABS metal, PVC, zinc alloy, and required AG1 batteries, so tiny little batteries, and 4 of them, and they're not included. So yeah, you have to get those batteries. But when you look at Threezero, And when we look at their figures that they have produced, the Iron Man figures, as you can see, well, a lot of great things that they have done over time. Here you can see many of the stuff that we had covered over the years. Some of the newer stuff. They got the Iron Man Mark 22 Hot Rod. Also was released not long ago. That's another one too that looks kind of cute. Not necessarily my first choice. But it's still kind of cool. Very nice. Actually, when you look at it, the color look very unique. Very nice. The contrast in that color. The Iron Man Hot Rod version. But and then it's here we can see any other versions. Trying to think if there's any other, like for example, you got the DLX Iron Man Mark. The waitlist is closed. That is no longer for sale, but that one, that was a beast of a figure. Also on their same scale, 11.7, of course, huge on the size. This one is one that you would have to get in the aftermarket or find it, or somebody that can sell it directly from China. You can get some from Hong Kong and import, because that is a massive beast and it looks really, really neat. Beautiful, beautiful. Not huge, but huge for the scale, of course. And yeah, of course, you have the Iron Man Mark 21 Midas. So they have different colorations. Some of them I don't remember per se. But it's cool. As you can see what they have done. Of course, all the Transformers stuff. They have a lot of things. You know, Threezero definitely caters to different audiences, but they always do it with style and flavor, in my opinion. So this is a good one just to showcase if you're interested on that one. Now, I want to talk about another one here. And I'm here, of course, we still at Sideshow. And the next thing I want to cover while we're here is the next action figure from an Italian company that, in my opinion, does amazing work. They do amazing statues, but also on their action game, the action figure game, they also really up there. Look at these two figures right here, Lupin and Jigen. This is, of course, Lupin the Third. This is Lupin the Third. This is actually based on in a film, The Italian Adventure. Of course, you know, this is you know, a classic. Mostly when you talk about Lupin, you don't really think about it in the United States as popular, but you know, there's a very popular, the anime, the movies, all that, the stuff that happened in Europe is such a popular character, and there's a big fan base there. So an Infinite Statue, this Italian company, of course, catering to that market with the European market. Definitely there's a big market there that loves this kind of thing. They're into anime, into manga. So definitely it makes sense. And Lupin looks really great. I love this figure. It looks really fantastic. I think they have done really a fantastic job with this one. The tailoring, when you look at him, definitely they did such a phenomenal job in making it look the way it's supposed to look. He has the hand with the cigar. He has different hands, of course. He has the low base, the pistol, the interchangeable portrait. Just such a fantastic job with this figure. I love the suit, man. The suit, it looks great. His tie looks great. And that portrait, the hair, even the texture on the hair, very nicely done. I've seen other figures in the past from Lupin. I think, in my opinion, this is the best figure that I've seen. It's so well done, and the tailoring on those pants, man, look great. It just looks like the character. You know, do you need a statue of Lupin? There's been statues of Lupin. There have been some really nice statues done. But as an action figure, this is just perfect. And as a 1/6 scale is the perfect scale for your 1/6 scale collection. Very nicely done. Of course, when you talk about Infinite Statue, they have a division which is Caustic Plastic. And that's the division where they sell action figures. 1/6 scale action figures. They don't have a big lineup because they haven't been doing it for forever. But this Italian artists are doing really amazing job. And I think this is great. Even the pistol in his hand. Everything is good. The boots, his hand, the cigar, even with it's just such a nice job. And here you can see the list of everything that is coming with it. So it says one head with Italian Adventure likeness, one head with extra expression, one articulated body, 8 hands, one hand with cigarette, one Walter P38 pistol, one wristwatch, one blue jacket, one pair of gray trousers, one black shirt, one red tie, one belt, one pair of shoes, one stand with crotch support. So yeah, pretty neat. Now another character on the same series will be this one, Jigen. And this one also looking fantastic. I like Lupin, but this one, you want to build this collection, the expression, the cigar, the hand, the tailoring, the pants, all of that, man. They did a nice job. That's a nice little suit. The tie, the expression on the face. Very, very well done. Man, that's a nice figure. They're nice, really nice figures. You barely can see his eyes and the expression on the face. Cigar in mouth. Very, very cool figure. That revolver coming out. Yeah, that expression is good, man. They did a really nice job here. You can see you got the 8 hands. You got Daisuke Jigen Deluxe Edition. One head with the Talent Adventure likeness with hat. One head with extra expression with hat. One articulated body. 8 hands. 6 cigarettes. This guy's a chain smoker. One Smith & Wesson Model 19 pistol. Revolver, of course. One wristwatch. One dark gray jacket. One pair of dark gray trousers. One purple shirt. One gray tie. One belt. One pair of shoes. One stand with crotch support. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. And when you look at Infinite Statue, of course, look at the stuff that they have done. The action figures. We have covered. We have talked about, of course, Colin James Braddock. This is very nice. It's on the wait list now. Frying Ducks, of course. And here, Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is really nice figures too. They have done some amazing work with a lot of these action figures they've been producing. Very nicely done. They continue to be impressive. Even their statues are impressive. They do a really nice job with their statues. They concentrate, of course, on a lot of characters from that Agent Cooper. Very nice figure. Very nice figure. Look at this statue. This already sold out. This is the Lupin and Jigen. This is a statue that they produced not long ago. Very tiny little statue, but very nicely done. A small statue, but man, now I think with the action figures, it's gonna be great. Are they gonna produce also the vehicle? That would be great if you can have a vehicle, the car. That'd be nice. But yeah, this company all impressive. They've been impressive with what they do, statue wise, action figure wise. They're very artistic, and the quality of their stuff is up there. Is really nice. So definitely I recommend this one if you get the chance. If you like Lupin, definitely there's a good option there. All right, so the next thing I want to go, and we're here still, of course, at Sideshow. I want to cover now, let's see if we can get out of here, to Hot Toys. Now, Hot Toys has released, there are a couple of things, of course, that they didn't release over the weekend, but they released 2 things, and one of them is already on the wait list. This was just released today. The Elite Squad Trooper, that just went, and this is what happened when they get all this, and the limited edition for 1,500 pieces. I don't know how that happened. When I think this went on pre-order, probably not even. I think it was way after lunchtime. When I came back from lunch and I was going through, I think maybe 1, 2 o'clock. I look at it and said, "Wait a minute, this is new," and now it's on the wait list. That's what happened with a lot of these more obscure ones, or people, they just needed to have one, and it looks great. I love the design and the custom, of course, in his outfit. The paint job on it looks great. It comes with some really nice weapons and accessories. Again, this is a 1/6 scale. Very nicely done. Very nice job with this one. Looks really fantastic. I'm surprised that it sold out quickly, or is right now on the wait list, of course. But it happens quick. So sometimes you gotta be, it's a Hot Toys exclusive, so sometimes with this, particularly the exclusives with Hot Toys, you gotta be on the lookout. You gotta be on top of things if you don't want to miss. But yeah, it looks great. Now looking at the price of this one, now we don't know. We don't know. But yeah, it was around like that. Oh, $255, that was the price, which is not bad. Oh, look at Lupin. I didn't mention the price. I think it's great. That's a great price for this. $210 for them. I think that's a phenomenal price, for particularly with all the accessories that comes with. It's great. So, but the Elite Squad Trooper is there. Now, the one that I'm surprised that's still available is the Darth Maul concept art. Of course, you know, this Darth Maul is more about the original concept that they had for this character. They decide this concept. Ultimately, that's not what it went or was presented in the film. And I will tell you, I'm glad that didn't happen that way. Why? Because as much as it's a cool concept, I think that what they did in the end with the design of Darth Maul, they nail it. You know, he is a Sith and he has the power of the Sith, and he looks so menacing, and definitely it was a concept that was great. Of course, this would have been great, and don't get me wrong, but I think the whole black outfit, it was so menacing. The guy was menacing, and I think they nail it. But yeah, for those who love history, for those who love to have everything, the completionists, you know, this is another way to really honor the concept and design, and I think there's nothing wrong with it. It looks great. I'm just thinking in my head, what would happen if we have seen Darth Maul this way? Would it be as impressive? I don't think so. It's cool, definitely. If you want something unique in your collection, still it looks great. The sculpt is great. The porter is great. You know, this case, the double saver and the light up feature in it. That's another great thing. Now, are they going to release a new version of Darth Maul with the classic outfit? Possibly. You know, Darth Maul is a character that people are so beloved as a villain, even though they didn't have much time on screen, but it has done so much and has been so impactful. So this is the concept, of course, that we see from Darth Maul, looking very, very neat. That is a great figure. And here you can see, for example, this little short, just to give you an idea, the things you can do. Those eyes are great. If I'm not mistaken, just looking at it, and I'm gonna pause it here. That's the packaging. Classic, you know, Hot Toys packaging, simple, but adequate. But here you can see on the details. I want to see what it does have on what's in the box. So it captures the reimagined Sith Apprentice appearance of Darth Maul from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. One newly developed Darth Maul head sculpt with separate rolling eyeballs, which is something that they've been doing nowadays. Highly accurate facial expression with iconic Sith Lord's eyes, pointed horns, remarkable tattoos, and detailed skin texture. So yeah. So it has the rolling eyes. You know, that's something that is coming along pretty much with everything they produce nowadays. Kudos to them for doing really a nice job. All right, my friends. So this is technically what we're covering right now. Again, I want to say to all of you, thank you. Thank you very much for being here, for being supported. Thank you, everyone who is watching. Let me drink more water. But I want to say thank you, Knight. Thank you, Batman. Thank you, Sin, for, you know, spend time with me and really chatting with me. I hope, Batman, if you're still around, I hope that the sound is better for you. All right, so I want to cover now moving into statues. I want to go to, and we're here still, in this case, at Sideshow. And I want to come here. I may not be on this one where I need to be. But don't fret, because I think I'm going to go to... Let me come down here on the second page. If I see it there, if I don't see it, then we'll move along to the next. But I want to cover... and probably end up here eventually, but we can come to a spec fiction. We're going to go to spec fiction the first time around. Here you can see a spec fiction also carrying the stuff that we're covering here. They're still carrying also many of the products that we're covering. That's one reason I love Spec Fiction. They also carry more than that, and I like that. But here, I want to cover this too from Spiral Studio. Spiral Studio, of course, does a lot of vinyl, PVC, King Kong, Godzilla figures, and they look amazing for those who love Godzilla. So there's two different things that they will release. They're not available, I think, at Sideshow yet, but they will be eventually. There's other stuff from Spiral Studio over there. But we coming here from Godzilla vs. Kong, the 2021 film. You got the Skullcrawler statue. They have done other Skullcrawler from other films because this came out in other films. So this is the version. This particular version is for that film alone. $255. Now it's made out of PVC, polyurethane, resin. So it does have a lot of different elements. Looks really neat. And as you can see, the likeness and it's so great. These are great figures. Great for display and create like a lot of different pictures. If you like toy photography, very, very neat. Look at all the teeth in his mouth. Very well done, very realistic. Nice paint job, nice color. And this is just for scale reference. This girl is holding it. That tells you it's not a big one. So I would say some people would say that the price is a little too high. Hiya Toys has been doing amazing figures, by the way. For a fraction of this price, for less than what Spiral is doing. But Spiral does really high quality stuff. But when we look at the next one, you got Godzilla versus Cross Kong in the New Empire, the most recent film. The Titanus Scylla statue is $315. Same thing, deal. PVC and all the materials, polyurethane. But look at this one. And yes, you know, it looks like a big crab with tentacles in his mouth. It's cool. Very nice concept. And definitely, you know, being that PVC vinyl, of course, is more resilient. So it's not easily damaged as some others you may perhaps would see. Very nice paint job. Definitely looked like a crab. Very cool. And this girl, this cute girl, is holding this on this little tray. It's not even a base. It's just a tray that she's holding. It's cool. You know, that tells you how big this is. And definitely, if you're into Godzilla figures, or you like the detail, design, all of that, Godzilla, then definitely this is for you. Very nicely done. I will say kudos to them for... Oh, and it's another picture here. She has like a, you know... What she's gonna do? Cook that thing? Yeah, because it looks like a crab. Are you gonna cook that crab? That's funny. And his guy's holding it too. Yeah, it's a cool design. Cool concept. Very neat. So again, this Spiral Studio, when you look at what Spiral has been doing, we have to cover a lot of the things here. Many of the stuff, some stuff on the wait list. They definitely do really nice figures. And that is what they specialize. The Godzilla stuff is definitely their specialty, and that's what they do. And they do a good job at it. You know, they definitely do a good job. So kudos to them for another very nice release. Now, going back now again to Sideshow, let's look at the next release that occur. And we are in statues, but I'm going to the next company, another company that I, you know, that we talk about it, we cover, which is Kotobukiya. Kotobukiya, this Japanese company that has been doing, you know, work for many, many years. This one, the Chuky, and we're going from one type of monster to another monster, but this is more of a sweet monster. The Chuky Bishoujo. Of course, you know, if you remember growing up back in the 90s watching the Chuky films, which they're, well, crazy and funny at the same time. But of course, you know, I think we come into some sort of celebration of that film release. But now, of course, Kotobukiya is releasing a Chuky figure on the Bishoujo line because, hey, people were hoping or asking for it. Who knows? This is what I was telling you the other day about Bishoujo. Is like, you know, Kotobukiya, with the Bishoujo line, they've been able, it's like an open check. You know, they can dry whatever they want, amount they want, and they just sell it and people buy it because Kotobukiya is so established at this point with the Bishoujo line. The Bishoujo line inside is such a fan favorite that you can actually turn anything into a Bishoujo. And I think this is a cute one for sure. And, you know, it has no horror elements, although I would have preferred for them to add a little bit more horror elements to it because at the end of the day, this is a horror character. maybe a little bit, but no, they make it very, very cute. And actually, there is a horror element on the alternate head. Look at that alternate head. That is scary. The other one is so sweet. It appears, yeah, it's the same head. Very sweet. But the other one is like, man, she's going to kill you for sure. And she's holding a knife in the back. I like the base. And this is Chuky right there. It's cool. So this is, yeah, I don't like that face. You know, that's scary now. That's the Chuky I know. You don't want to mess with that girl. That is more of a sweet girl. Like, okay. The well-behaved Chuky. And that's how it turns out. You know, if you have a girlfriend like that, you don't want to mess with that. So, but yeah, they look at the knife, everything. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And the base, of course, they went with that. It also comes with a clear base. So you had two change out bases. The clear is fine. It kind of sits along with other Bishoujo figures that have clear bases. So you want to do it that way. But honestly, I will tell you, this base is the way to go. That is the base that you need to have. And it's cool. So price $120. Amazing that Bishoujo's, when they used to be less than $50, now you're coming into $120. Times have changed for sure, but you know, Kotobukiya continue to produce really nice and cool stuff. All right, so let's move to the next company. I want to move to in this case, Iron Studios. Iron Studios always producing really very fantastic stuff. Of course, there were a couple of things that were released for the event for for Star Wars Day. They were not showcased, unfortunately, which is a shame at the Sideshow presentation, but they were released there. And Iron Studios, of course, there were a few things that we covered on that video. You're welcome to watch that video. We talk about this Darth Vader Deluxe already on the wait list, a conversion of the big one they have into 110, and also the Yoda versus Palpatine. Those are really nice. But there's other two that you can find in other places. Right here, you can find a Big Bad Toy Store, and you can also find it here on Spec Fiction. So it's going to be available in different places. You can see Spec Fiction has it. If you come to Big Bad Toy Store, you're also going to see it. Let's see, we see I know it's there. I saw it right there. So you can also find it here. So the options are pretty much everywhere. You can find it wherever you need to go. So yeah, you're going to find it there. But when we come into Sideshow here, we're going to use that as the main point of reference. We're going to talk about, first, let me talk about Darth Vader on Tron Deluxe. I think this is perhaps the one a lot of people were anticipating the most. Of course, we have seen, let me look at this. Iron Studios. We have seen the large piece. Again, they've been doing the reduction of things. They do have the very extra large piece of this. On the wait list is $1,000. That's when it is. It came with the extra portrait, extra armor, the light of features, all of that. This was the thing. This was what you... another great representation of Darth Vader. However, just going back, Iron Studios has been reducing the scale of things to accommodate, and now, of course, you get a 110. So the only difference, of course, doesn't have the light of feature. That's something that it's limited there. However, and I'm glad that they are providing the extra head and extra armor control. So you get the damage armor control right here, or you also you can change with the in this case the battle damage port helmet. Hey, what's up, Sin? Yeah, nothing wrong with my end. I really like this. Chuky Bishoujo will be on my radar. Cool. Yeah, I know it's cool. But when you're looking at yeah, so definitely they did that, which is great, and of course they it's good. It's a 110. So if you miss on the big one, if you don't have a space for the big one, but you still like the design, you can go for the 110. Unfortunately, the lighter feature it was sacrificed, and it's not gonna be available on this one. So that's something that to keep in mind. But you can still change this part, although it doesn't really matter to me. I would love to see it as a lighter feature. The option is here. The other one, if you can find it, you can still find it some places. Sometimes you may be able to find it on. I see them going for, for some prices even cheaper than it was originally on retail on eBay. So you got to keep an eye on it. You would have to look around. So it's cool as a 110. Now we have also Mace Windu as a 110, and this one is $255. I will tell you this, not necessarily. I think it's just the angle of the head, but I found the head too big, at least from this picture. When you compare it to the body feels a little too, and maybe just the angle, maybe it was just the picture. It didn't look great. It's an interesting concept, to be honest with you. Like, he's in a battle destroying droids. Very interesting, more of an action pose. But I still think that the quarter scale from Sideshow Premium Format figure, that is a perfect rendition of Mace Windu. Now, certain angles, it doesn't look bad. It's different. It's a nice concept. As a sculpt is smaller, of course, so you have to sacrifice certain aspects of it. From certain angles, from this angle, looks like the scale looks fine. From this one, looks fine. It's just that original picture that it feels like weird. But the option is there, $255. If you're already building this collection, then here again, this Mace Windu from Premium Format, the Premium Format figure is amazing. So I think it's a great depiction. The 110, of course, you don't have the money for that big one and the space, and why not just check on this one? That might be a good alternative to have the character in your collection. All right, so this is what we have so far right now. It's already 8:09, so already been here for an hour. We coming back. I'm gonna take a quick break. Sorry that I think I had the screen a little reduced, but I'm gonna take a quick break. Again, thank you very much for being supportive. When I come back, just to give you an idea, we're going to cover Infinity Studio. We're going to talk about SynQ Lab, a company that I never talked before and is now on my radar. Looking, if you're a Street Fighter fan, we're going to look at it. We're going to look at Tsume Art. Tweeterhead, it had a release of the Joker Maquette. We're going to talk about, of course, PCS. I want to give a quick look at Sideshow Classic Ghost Rider PF, although it's not on pre-order yet. It's going to go on pre-order soon. But I want to look at it, at least give my first impression over the first picture that we have. PCS with Rocky the third, Rocky 3, I'm sorry. And Beast Kingdom, Prime 1 Studio, and also Factory Entertainment. So yeah, we still have a couple of things to go. And it's an hour already. Cover a good ground with things, but I'll be right back. And stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Just take a break too, and I'll see you in a moment.
by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high.
Tell them what your name is. Amplify for the speed house.
Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side. Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high.
Tell them what your name is. Amplify for the speed house.
Entombed in my mind, can't seem to break away. Lost in time, thinking about better days. Do you ever get used to the pain? 'Cause I don't know if I can do this again. Now you got me wondering why you let me die alone inside. I died for you, I cried for you, I tried for you. Tell me why you left me bleeding. I died for you.
All right, my friends, thank you once again. Welcome back to this the channel. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here with me and supporting this my adventure creating content for the past 12 years. Thank you very much. Just took a break. Say hello to my niece that she was actually on the phone as she was calling, and actually I showed her the room a little bit while you were gone. I was wanting to see it. Still a work in progress, I'm telling you. It's still more comfortable than it was initially, but I still got a couple ideas. I try to put as much as I can because I still have a lot of stuff in boxes, and I don't know what to do. Like maybe I wanted to put art. Maybe I need to change the setup of lighting. Maybe change some of the display cases. Do something different. But this is technically what I do everything. So gotta work on what I have. But in any case, welcome back. Thank you for being here with me. Now the thing is this: we keep moving, and let's move to the next thing. And again, please don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, let me know you're watching, share with anything. I always like to have conversations with you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate that you always spend time with me. You have always done it for the past 12 years. In any case, let's go back. Let's see where we at. Okay, let's go here. And I want to take you, we're going to go to let me go to Sideshow. Here in Sideshow, let's see if what I'm looking at is going to be available here so we can discuss it. And if it's not, then we'll find another place. Oh yeah, right here. We have it here. This is also available in other places. So it's not necessarily here. You can find it at Big Bad Toy Store, also Spec Fiction. This is by Infinity Studio, Kurokawa Mio Deluxe. The Dear My Rubber Kurokawa Mio 1/6 figure. It's a 1/6 scale figure. It's a stunning three-dimensional recreation based on an original illustration by artist YD. So this is, you know, I haven't really discussed or talked much about this type of figures. Normally I skip them. I don't really talk about a lot of this particular different pieces of art. But the fact that this is produced in Infinity Studio, which we haven't really heard much about it lately, I don't know if that's just a shift with Infinity Studio into something else. We've seen that companies are producing a lot of this as statues, particularly catering to the market in Asia, going into the cheaper products. And I think that what they're doing is maybe because preparing for different times. You're just like, if you only cater to the high end with high prices, then of course you may sink when the boat sinks. So you also have to kind of spread your wings into other markets, into producing anything for other people. So this is kind of like an idea on that. So this is based on an art of this sexy little young woman. Looks cute. It's something that is so popular in Asia, this type of figures, these sexy figures. Not for everyone. So it seems that this one, when looking at this one here, I think it's two or it's one that can interchange into different parts. So let me look at this one here. Let me look at the details here, just for dimensions. The figure captures the elegant moment as the girl gently lifts her skirt with a pink top adorned by a black bow, showcasing the signature sweet yet mysterious charm of the derriere aesthetic. The contrast between the glossy finish of the latest-like outfit and the soft texture of her clothing highlights her slender waist and long legs, radiance and unique allure. This deluxe edition includes an additional figure featuring a tsundere facial expression and a special pose, also illustrated by YD. Both figures can be displayed independently, and their heads are interchangeable, allowing fans to express different moods of the character. Oh, that's cool. So the price is $145. I think is fair. It's 1/6, both of them, which I think it's great. You know, like now 1/6 is super expensive. Look at you know what even you saw in this case Kotobukiya, the 1/7. Normally they're kind of, you know, Bishoujo are normally promoted as 1/7, but they're more like 1/8. And sometimes even smaller. I'll always say more than 1/8. So this one on this deluxe version, I was looking also. If you look at the Spec Fiction has the standard version and it has the deluxe version. The Spec Fiction has the standard. The standard, technically all it does is the clothing with the extra portrait. That's about it. But it's just the change of portrait. It's the same figure, just with a different portrait. Pretty cool. If you like this type of figures, this style, very cool, beautiful, you know, depiction of this girl, this anime girl, with the two different expressions. Very cool. Dear My Rubber. Okay, that is a little bit too much. Okay. But it does have different expressions. So that's pretty much it. So it's based on that art. It's $135 for this one. $135. Now, if you go for the deluxe, this one comes with, is the same, but it does have the extra body. So honestly, at that point, you're like, why do, you know, you go for the one, you only pay a few more dollars and you get an extra body. By all means, you just go for the one with that. Now you get two figures for the price of one. You know, it's a no-brainer. You can go for that and you're still making bank, I think. You know, it's pretty cool. I think they're both great. The whole figure and the two different aesthetics is great. And you can definitely display it in two different angles. And I think price-wise is perfect. Again, very, very nicely. You can come here at Spec Fiction. They have it also at Big Bad Toy Store. I saw it there. So you got to go through Big Bad Toy. Big Bad Toy is constantly changing things around. But you can look there if you like. But here, of course, you can come here to Sideshow. And here you can see side by side the detail there. Very cool. And again, this is Infinity Studio. Seems like they're going into some things that are a little more less of the stuff that they produce with other companies, more of the licensed stuff. You know, there's a little bit of that you're working with an artist to produce this, so it's not necessarily like you have a license per se. It's a collaboration with an artist, and that is good. But you know, Infinity Studio has been a little quiet. They've been producing some good stuff. No, don't get me wrong. They've been producing really great stuff. Here you can see some of the stuff that we have seen recently, but a lot of the stuff they've been a little bit quiet in recent times for some reasons. But definitely this company always amazes me with what they produce, and this is not the first time they have produced these action figures with art, stuff like this. I think this Kyo-Air and Jinhua, that's also part of that sexy look. So it's cool. Infinity Studio really doing things different. A lot of the stuff based on the Chinese market, but definitely they're also doing some very unique, interesting things. So I wanted to show you that. Now, moving into also into Chinese companies that are really leaving a mark or doing something different. I want to talk about a company that this is the first time that I'm going to have the discussion, and this is here you can see SynQ Lab. This company. At first, when I saw this statue, I thought this is a Sagat 1/6 scale statue. I thought that this was unlicensed product, but then I realized I've gone through the comments that actually this is a licensed product, perhaps the first licensed product they have. I don't think this is the second one because they did have an Akuma. It's $645, which I think is fantastic for a 1/6, particularly at this time and age. This is it's a museum pose. Even you can see the blood in the paint on his knuckles. It's such an impressive piece. I like it. It's such a good piece. I don't know who sculpted this, but when I look at it, it reminds me of the work of Eric Sosa. I don't know if Eric Sosa did this or who else did this, but it's very Eric Sosa like I don't know if he actually is working with them in some way, because he does a lot of stuff that he doesn't tell people that he does. At first I said, well, this is a licensed product because he doesn't really show much. It says, he doesn't tell us much about it, what it is here. So I'm thinking it's unlicensed. But when you go to Facebook, yeah, he does look incredible. When you come to Facebook and then we look at SynQ Lab, this company has done a lot of other things, and I think a lot of the stuff they did, some of the stuff was not necessarily licensed in the past, but a lot of these companies, of course, they grow and they become more and more. SynQ Lab Sagat, maybe see if we can see it there. I'm hoping that I'm doing it right. I think something wrong with here. I'm trying to find. This is the thing with Facebook. Like, it just gets worse and worse and worse. SynQ Lab Studio. And it brings you to some unrelated team that nobody really cares about. Like, oh, I know why. Sorry, my bad. Misspell. Right there. SynQ Lab. So yeah, that's what it was. So sorry for that. Sorry for my spelling, which is terrible. I didn't notice until later. All right, SynQ Lab, right there. This is the company I was telling you. They already have a following. This pre-order just started. And this Sagat right away has just been, gaining momentum. And here you can see it's licensed by Capcom. And it's already like different collectors already. I forgot the name of this guy. This guy, I think he's in Singapore or so, but he has a big now art statue collector. He has his channel here on YouTube. He actually reviewed it right there in his collection. He has a private collection that is well known. So he was taking pictures of it. It looks very, very impressive. Like on those pictures that they have initially for promotion, it doesn't look as good. But once you see it in the other pictures, it just looks way better. Of course, this company also has the Attack of Titan license. It has a different license. So this company is kind of like really growing. Here are some pictures of the original design or concept. This is an Akuma that they also produce. So this company is definitely, as you can see, they have their own style of things, like, but this is a more realistic look that they did for the Street Fighter stuff. And also they produce these figures, so these characters, so they have their own style, their own design of things, which is nothing wrong with that. It's a relatively young company, and they definitely are hitting a market that it's interesting to really watch. So here you can see SynQ Lab, some of the stuff like this other group here. You can see the scale of this one. This is the prototype really showing you, and I love what they did the paint of. Definitely he was through a battle. Of course, he's a Muay Thai fighter, so definitely he's bloody. His knuckles, he's dirty, he's been through battle. Maybe they could clear out some of that dirt a little bit, you know, but they wanted to give it a very realistic look, and I think they achieved it. It looks really cool. Very, very neat. Very nice job with it. So yeah, it's very cool to see this company. How are they going to grow? How are they going to produce, you know, how are they going to grow and become more sold out? You know, it depends. It depends on the projects. It depends on how they do certain things and popularity. And if people can see it here, you can see the pictures also taken by Art Statue Collector. Yeah, very nice pictures he took there. Very nicely done. So yeah, this is an impressive piece. Again, available as Spec Fiction. It's a licensed product from Capcom. This small company. They definitely are going for it. I think this is a great Sagat. If this comes out as it's been showcased here, then the potential to be a really a solid piece it's there, and we'll see what happens, and definitely we'll keep an eye on it. So that's good to know. Now, next thing I want to cover, I'm over to another company. Now we're going to a company in Europe. This is Tsume Art. I want to talk about the newest pre-order Tsume Art just released. If you're a Senseiya fan, they have this. And it's been doing really great. The Pisces-Aphrodite. This is part of their, I think it's 1/6 scale collection. Yep, it's limited edition to 500 pieces. Of course, this is made in Luxembourg. It says right there. And they say that. I'm not sure if they change it, but they've been always produced in China. Unless they change it now, and they're gonna start manufacturing in Luxembourg, in Europe. We'll see. With everything that is happening in the world, very cool piece. Here you can see in euros the price, 600. You can also come to a Spec Fiction. Here on Spec Fiction, you will be able to see it. The price for this one, it's around $825. But when you come here, if you order directly from them, we're gonna see the pictures here. You can see it has interchangeable roses, which is great. We have seen other Aphrodites recently from other companies with a lot of different things, different big, you know, huge things that, you know, all kind of thing. This is a more simplistic take, and I think since in this case, Tsume Art is always good at doing simple stuff. They are always great at doing it. And look at all those roses. The base, I think this is a much better depiction of Aphrodite. I love how they designed this. So it really makes the character shine in there. It looks really neat. It has that, of course, the logo and all those roses, all these petals and all that stuff that they did is pretty cool. Very clever with the character. It really plays the character, of course. Because this is one of those characters that, you know, that is, you know, his sexuality is very dubious. You know, something that I remember watching the cartoons in the 90s. I'm thinking like, you know, like all this sexualization of characters, You know, you were watching stuff. Nowadays, of course, you know, people trying to protect the kids, which is good. But man, back in the day, there was a lot of these things, and even in cartoons, that went over parents' heads. And you know, this cartoon was back in, you know, popular in the 80s and 90s. You know, it was popular in the 80s and in Europe. You know, but came a little later, a few years later, in the beginning, in early 90s is when it came to where I'm from. You know, when I grew up in Mexico, but it was in Brazil and Latin America. It became such a powerhouse of a TV show. But definitely was the things that you saw there. You know, like characters sometimes, you know, half naked. You know, things like that. Yeah, it was definitely has a lot of innuendo, if you can call it that. But yeah, it looks great. They did a nice job with this one. And we're not looking at this, of course. You can order this one as a 1/6. You can always do here, for example, if you come here to, just to give you an idea of the most recent one that we saw, because we saw this other piece. This is and a much larger version, of course. We have seen this character in different ways, and this, of course, is another 1/6, and this is from Jimmy Pala's work. Now, Jimmy Pala's work did an amazing job with this one. It comes with so many different extras, so much stuff that comes with it. Comes with those dead roses and everything. You can, you know, it's a beautiful depiction with the bases and everything. It's a very interesting take, and also has the interchangeable, you know, using his suit that he, the different, you know, torso and all that. So you got all these things. Of course, that the ABC bundle comes with a lot of things. That's the reason you're paying a lot more. So that is a good one. Also, it's a 1/6. We also check out this one, which is the White Rose. This is the more action. We talk about it too. That's another beautiful piece for sure. So the options are there for this character. Whether you like action, semi-action, there's something very, very interesting of the character. And I would say Jimmy Pala's work has done. This is by Zodiaca Studio. That's another company too. All of these pieces, of course, are you know, licensed products. And then, of course, now you got, and I will tell you, the competition is fierce when you look at Aphrodite. This is a quarter scale by Soul Wing, another company that does really amazing job, but they've been doing the quarter scale stuff. So yeah, the options are there. If you're a Senseiya fan, if you're like pieces and you need one, you know, there's an option for you. This, particularly the 1/6, they're all great. I like that Jimmy Pala's work, and definitely that Zodiaca Studio also doing great. As you can see, they definitely doing fantastic with that piece. And they're all licensed products, so you can choose what you think is best for you. This one is amazing too. Zodiaca did an amazing job. So it's up to you. You want them for a museum? Definitely, this Tsume Art has more of that museum style. It's a semi-action pose, but more on the museum style. Still great. It has more of that. I would say the face has more of that anime, not the anime, but more of that manga feel. So maybe that's what they were trying to achieve. Very nice concept, very different. I think you have to go for the one you prefer, the company you support the most, but definitely the concepts here. It's a tough choice here. I don't know what to say, because each one has something very unique, very good over the other. They're all great in their own way. So yeah, that's cool to know from Tsume Art. Now, the next thing we're going to cover, I'm going to take you back to Sideshow Collectibles. And here at Sideshow, I want to talk about Tweeterhead. Tweeterhead, the company that I hope this year to be great for him. You know, everything that is happening in America is really kind of has hit it hard, and hopefully this doesn't affect this company and the ability to keep producing amazing stuff as they have. As you can see, maybe you don't see it, I do have a nice collection of Tsume products. I love the Tsume stuff. Particularly, I collect the 1/6. That's what I like. That's what I prefer. But yeah, they do amazing work even as a quarter scale. Now, this maquette, they went up, and this is a collaboration they're doing with Sideshow. They increased the size of this maquette from the 1/6 to a quarter scale. Now, this was the 1/6, fantastic piece as a 1/6. When you look at the details here, the artist, you got Paul Harding, you also had Jason Wires Production, and Jeanette Villarreal Hamilton. She's the photographer. So you had some people involved here. When you look at this one, the limited edition side, they don't know how many they're going to produce, eventually, depending on how many they get on the orders. But here it gives you a difference between the 1/6, which technically those 1/6, sometimes they're more like 1/5, man. But in any case, gives you an idea of the 1/6 in comparison to the quarter scale. So the 1/6 is 15 inches tall. The quarter scale is going to be 24 inches tall. It's going to be pretty tall too as a quarter scale. But the detail, the paint job is a fully sculpted piece. Very nicely done. Very great. It does remind me a little bit of the Sideshow, the original Sideshow. That is still a fantastic piece. It's still a fantastic that was sculpted with Martin Canale, sculpted with other people involved there. Many other great artists. It's a fantastic piece. Of course, this is now enlarged as a quarter scale, so the detail can be more easily to spot. Very nice depiction of the Joker for sure. Paint job is excellent. I'm not sure if I remember well if the 1/6 has interchangeable parts, but here gives you reference on that. You know, that's kind of bad to have the little Robin. We'll go back to the story. It's a great piece. Now, when we go, let's say to let me take you to Tweeterhead. We're on Tweeterhead. So we're gonna see if we can see the Joker, if it's still here in some way. No, I don't think we're gonna be able to see it right here. He doesn't have a... I was trying to see. I would say one thing I don't like is the website here. I've never been a fan of their website. It's just not as good. So we're gonna do Tweeterhead. Joker 1/6. Oh, you find it here. Big Bad Toy Store has it. This was not a bad Joker, although I will tell you the Joker on the throne, on the chair, it's probably better in the end, depiction wise. Oh, this is the quarter scale too. So this is not the 1/6 scale. So I would say, yeah, it's great, but I'm trying to remember if the original has interchangeable parts. I don't remember. If you remember, just let me know, because I honestly I don't remember at this point if the original had it. But definitely this was part of the Superpowers maquette, which, yeah, I don't think it did have. I don't remember if they have, you know, sometimes, you know, those back in those days with the Superpowers collection, they used to have extra things, you know, to offer, like, you know, exclusive stuff. Some of that stuff, I don't remember if there was anything exclusive about it. And that was something that they used to do if you were ordering directly through them. So I don't remember if that was the case here at any point. I still think that the newest one that they did is probably far superior in my opinion. But that Joker definitely was still a good one. But of course, you will see more and more. Perhaps it's something that we're going to see. Oh, right there. It did have something different. Here you can see that was... I'm coming to a statue forum. I haven't been in a statue forum in a while. But you can see it did have a different pistol, a different hand, and also a different portrait. Like, it did have an extra portrait, a more maniac portrait, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it was. Or it was just the portrait very, very different. It was the same portrait, but more maniac. And you can change the hands from those cards to the pistol. I think the portrait is different. I'm trying to remember. It's been, yeah, it has two different portraits. That's what it was. It had the portrait with the is laughing, you know, like he's open crazy mouth and stuff. You can see it. And also you know, here you can see the one that is going to see it close and the hands. and the revolver. So yeah, that's what he had. So that was the exclusive piece of this, which in this case, it's not the case on this one. So yeah, the quarter scale is bigger. Perhaps the detail is better. The paint job is gonna be better. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the extra portrait, and he doesn't have the pistol to go with it, unless it's there and they're not showing it for, you know, DC gets all, you know, gets their pennies on a twist with things like that nowadays. But here you can see the Joker quarter scale gets fully sculpted and measures 24 by 14. This is statue both very unique sculpted textures from the fabric-like design. Blah 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 blah. Looking at that, it doesn't say anything about having extra parts. So yeah, it's just gonna be, it's a quarter scale, and that's about it. Still a nice piece, but definitely the 1/6 was more complete, and this is not the case for this one here. But yeah, if you are interested, you can come here. Available at Sideshow. Also, you saw there, you might also gonna be able to find it at Big Bad Toy Store. Do they have it here on Spec Fiction? I don't think they do, but I may be wrong. I don't think so. I didn't see it, but you definitely find that at Spec Fiction. So you know, they come or go, or they go around. They stay here for a moment and they show up here. We'll see, but primarily you will have to find this at Sideshow. That will be the place. All right, and while we're at Sideshow, talking about Sideshow stuff, I want to kind of give a quick glimpse, you know, just very quickly. Let's just look at another Sideshow product that is coming soon. And I think people are excited in some way. Some people not so much. But we will know for sure once it goes on pre-order. And I'm thinking it's going on pre-order this week. So when it goes on pre-order, we'll cover it in detail. But it kind of disappeared for a moment. No, right there. So this one right here, the Ghost Rider Classic variant. Of course, some people not necessarily fans of variants. They're going definitely for the more classic outfit of the original comics when he was introduced, or at least the second, not the first part run, but the second part. And I always like this classic run. It's very classic, and I like the outfit that he used to wear. So they went for that. They picked the paint job in him. It's more of an orange. Even the bike, I think, is great. A lot of people were not maybe so happy with, you know, at the beginning. They thinking much about it. We're comparing this with the XM Studios, but in the end, I think the version of the Ghost Rider that was released just last year, as soon as he came, it really caught a lot of people by surprise. People loved that piece. So, you know, I don't think it's going to take away anything of value of the other one. I think this depending on the audience. Some people may love the classic Ghost Rider, but a lot of people love the more modern take of Ghost Rider. And I think this is great too. It looks fantastic. So I'm going to look at it when it comes out. But, you know, so far, just the color, the outfit, it looks so classic in my opinion. It looks great. And even the logo they're using the classic logo. But when you look at Ghost Rider, of course, and looking at the stuff that is here, look at this one. You know, there's no contest. They're both great. Definitely. Are they going to have both Lido features? We will know for sure. But that is such a fantastic piece for sure. That Ghost Rider looks fantastic, and the Lido feature is amazing. Such a phenomenal job with alternate portrait and everything. They did such a fantastic job with it. One of the best pieces that they produced last year, one of the best pieces they had produced in the Marvel for quite a while, and people were not fans of having the half bike in it, but to be honest with you, it works because it's coming from the ground, it's coming from hell pretty much, and it just looks so good. They did such a good job, and that Lido feature is impressive. It is one of the most impressive Lido features they have done so far. You know, of course, the outfit is modern and everything. Is this the new one that is coming out? Is going to be as good as this one? It's going to be different, for sure. But, yeah, looking forward to that one. Definitely, when it goes out on pre-order, we'll talk about it. Definitely, we'll discuss it. It's already on the wait list, so I'm sure the new one also go on the wait list. Which one will be best? It depends on your definition of which version you prefer, and also which era of comics you prefer. We'll see, but I think they're both great. So we'll see what happens when it goes out on pre-order. Now, the next thing that we're going to cover, we can cover here because there's nothing really different if you go someplace else. But we can also look at, in this case, PCS Collectibles. Thankfully, the website is back on. It was out, but it's back on. So it's great. This Emperor Palpatine is going on pre-order this week. So we're going to cover that on the next video. Next week, we're going to cover it. But they have this diorama. Unicorn is already, we talked about it last time. But here have Rocky III diorama, which is really good. It's 1424. It's a quad scale diorama. And of course, you got all this characters here. Again, you can find this as Sideshow. I would say the likeness is so-so. It looks good. When you look at the characters here, for example, when we're looking at some of the details here, I don't know if we can see who has sculpted it. We have seen others, of course. We have seen Apollo Creed, the Master of Disaster. This is a great. I love this Apollo Creed right here. We have seen all the different pieces that they did for this. They're separate pieces. It doesn't say who sculpted it, but in any case, here those are great individually. But if you really like a diorama, you want to see like the two guys duking it out, Apollo Creed right there, Rocky, then definitely this is a great way to do it. And I think they did a fantastic job. It looks really neat the way they did it. They took inspiration from some of the film and some still image to create with that. Yeah, it seems like it looks like one of the posters images of the film. I like how they did the base. Very nice detail on that base, and at every angle, it's very cool. Definitely, this is a great display. The portrait must, more or less, but you know, one thing that I would say sometimes that's something the biggest criticism of that PCS has is in the end, the final product on the likeness. Some of the paint jobs, some people have issues with it. Yeah, there's always going to be a difference even on the final product, and that goes along for every company, whether it's, you know, even the most expensive piece you can find. But if it comes closer to this, it would be great. Likeness is not 100%, barely on Sylvester Stallone, but other than that, it just looked good. And again, it's fully sculpted, no mixed media parts. And that's another thing that you always gonna, when people right now, we're so, I think, blessed to have pieces that have silicone and all this mixed media parts. So sometimes when you see a fully sculpted piece that has been painted, it's not gonna be as realistic as you expect it to be, because it's a sculpted piece and it's painted, hand painted. So there's differences there, and you gotta keep that in mind. But yeah, I think it's very neat. The detail, they keep it as much as they can with the scale. You know, I like the way the base with the ring team looks really neat. I think they did a really nice job with it. So yeah, if you're a fan of Rocky, you're a fan. If you have a gym at home and you have something that you like to have some of those characters, and you like to have sports characters, I think, you know, PCS has been delivering on those. And I think this is a great one. You can come here. I'm not sure if you can find it at Big Bad Toy Store. Yeah, you can. You can see it right there at Big Bad Toy Store. The price for this one, you're looking at almost the same. And, you know, although there's, you know, you have to pay the refundable, it excludes tariff surcharge, all that kind of stuff. And also, you can come here at Sideshow. You can order there as well. So that is very, very neat. All right, moving to the next thing. And I'm here, of course, while we are at this location here. No premium, but I'm going to Spec Fiction. I want to talk about, this is more of a larger scale. It's larger than it was supposed to be. But I like it because, first and foremost, you know, I think this is a classic cartoon. And Toy Story. I love Toy Story. I remember going to the movie theater to watch Toy Story, the original Toy Story. I never expected much of that Toy Story. I watched it in the summer when it came out that summer, the year that it went out. And I was impressed by the film. I think it was summer. But in any case, Ranger Buzz Lightyear, this MC-102 Master Craft statue. This is Beast Kingdom. This is a statue. Edition size $3,244. Nothing bad. We have seen a lot of this right now, like from robots to action figures. You know, why not a statue? And I think price is excellent. If you really like it, you're into Disney stuff, then definitely why not going for it. Now, the scale, I think, is a bit larger than life size. Not so sure. I think the toys are smaller in hand, so this is a little larger in scale. So it's double the size of a toy. So yeah, the scale is big, but it's still a statue. He's holding it. I'm not sure how heavy it is, but it's not looking bad at all. It doesn't have, of course, anything else that, you know, I think you have to justify with the price. So it doesn't look bad. Beast Kingdom really produces really affordable pieces. Here there's on YouTube, there's a video. It's a quick video presentation there. You can see it there. All sculpted, different elements. Space Ranger. So it has nice detail. Very nice sculpt. And when you look at the material, it's made out of resin, which is not light. It's not resin can be lighter than, I would say, polystone, because at the end polystone is also resin, but more like, I would say this is more of a, I don't know, cold cast porcelain, which also is polystone, but maybe on the lighter sense. On sometimes those there's some different, there's lighter materials than some of the other, although everything nowadays is becoming lighter than it used to be. Some companies, I will tell you, like Tweeterhead, they sell some statues that are actually heavy comparison with other companies. So yeah, it's not bad. When you look at Beast Kingdom, what they do, they always have some affordable things at affordable prices, and definitely the Disney stuff they've been producing lately seems to be doing well. Like you got the Mastercraft statues they call the Aladdin Genie. They're definitely really kind of catering to that Disney market, and they're doing it with really nice prices. This is a very good figure, and I like the material they use. Very translucent, very cool for that one. They also have the Lion King, Mufasa, another one. It's a great really depiction of Mufasa. So yeah, this is definitely what they're doing with these characters, with pretty large for the scale and pretty nicely detailed. So yeah, I would say Beast Kingdom really doing really cool stuff. And as you can see, they have a ample variety of things. Particularly, they do a lot of that Disney stuff. Oh man, look at this one. The Stanley Mastercraft statue is still on sale. $149, and that's a quarter scale, man. I'm telling you. So if you want something, you know, that is something there. They definitely do it, you know, quality. So I want to say that the best quality in the world, but for the price, man, they're doing really amazing stuff. So just keep that in mind. So that is what Beast Kingdom is doing. Now let me take you now to Prime One Studio, and this product you can find at Sideshow. You can find it Spec Fiction, but here they have a couple things. First, I want to cover this particular piece, Prisma Wing, because they've been doing the Prisma Wing. Then we go into Godzilla Cross Kong, but the stuff that they released this week, the most recent stuff, we're gonna look at this one right here. This is a quarter scale Prisma Wing. At first I thought Prisma Wing would be just smaller 1/6 stuff, but now they've been actually catering to the quarter scale. This is Marin Kitagawa. This is based on a manga that is very, very popular. I was looking at numbers, and I think I sold more like 1.4 million copies. So it seems very popular. There's even an animated series made from this character. I really don't know much about it. So I saw it and I'm thinking, wow, I didn't know. So, I don't read as much manga. But as I was telling you about companies kind of catering to the market, understanding their market, there's always in Japan, and we talk about that on Infinity Studio, is the market of these pretty girls, anime style girls. It seems to sell so well, and there's such a market. That's what really kept Kotobukiya strong for years and has kept them strong, is the Bishoujo line. But other companies are always produce these girls, these cute girls, anime girls, manga girls. And I think companies understand that market, and there's ample market for that. And why not? Prime One Studio is also producing it, and it's producing now as a quarter scale. And if I'm not mistaken, this is made out of polystone, if I'm not mistaken, or resin. When you look at the materials, yeah, it's made out of polystone and other materials. This one comes my Dress Up Darling team base. That's what is the anime or the manga, both, because this is mainly based on the animation. But you know, it's when you look at it, just to give you an idea of this one, $599, $600, definitely up there. This is a collaboration. The TV show is produced by Square Enix, and this appears on the Square Enix manga series or the book. They are the ones publishing it. But here you can see the swappable parts. You got 2 different hands. I think the clothing is mixed media. It's removable, as you can see. So for those freaks out there that want that kind of stuff, then you have it. But it's cute. Again, quarter scale piece. It's large for a figure. Nicely detailed. And I think the hand, very nice. The interchangeable parts, and I like the base too. Yeah, definitely this is on the sexy side. Weird side. I have no concept of this, and this manga or anime. Not necessarily my thing. I don't really read a lot of those, but this is what they are selling, and that's something that you can see now with Prime One Studio. They've been promoting this type of style, definitely pushing with the Prisma Wing stuff, which is less expensive, way than expensive. Although they have some Prisma Wing stuff that is expensive. This is $600 for this figure. Is expensive. But it's more affordable in comparison to some of the other stuff that they're selling, for sure. So, yeah, definitely there is a market for it. If this manga has sold so many copies worldwide, particularly in Japan, and has an animated show that I think just ended, so then you realize that there is a big market, and why not? They can continue selling stuff like that, and, you know, that is the way you make money. So that's what Prime One is doing. But the one that they really want to discuss here is this one right here. If you're a fan, again, and this one is available at Sideshow, available at Spec Fiction, I think it's available also at Big Bad Toy Store. Godzilla Cross Kong, the new Empire, the newest film, Godzilla versus Shimo, and we saw this one in the most recent showcase presentation, and beautiful, huge diorama. You know, they're still building on all the characters to add on to it, but this is the centerpiece. Shimo and Godzilla, and looking at the dimensions, the bonus version, you get this proximity piece, which is gonna look kind of cute, but this is going to be super large. We saw the dimensions on the video. It's super large. They're building all the different characters to go alongside. It's gonna be a huge. Do I think that this is as good as Godzilla versus Kong diorama, which I'm opinion is fantastic? I would say it is impressive. Look at this. This all the characters in this big, huge diorama they're building for this. I still think I prefer the one with the city being destroyed. What was that? Hong Kong being destroyed. I like it because it was such a fantastic diorama. This one is too. And it has swappable parts. Great detail. This is the ultimate depiction of this battle for sure. And it would be nice to see it in person, but that's something that perhaps I would never really have in my collection, even if I have this space. Maybe one day, maybe when I have to, maybe I open a museum and I become a billionaire, and I open a museum and I get all this stuff and showcase, and free entry for everyone who wants to watch this stuff. I'll make it happen. But for all the kids, why not? For the kids to enjoy and see things, to let their imagination run wild. It's so cool. There's 104 pictures at different angles. Yeah, that's something that I would say with Prime One Studio. They go crazy with pictures, and there's so much to see, so many different angles, so much detail, and that's something that I just. These pieces are pieces of love. They showcase the love for these characters and the work that these artists do to really bring to life such an amazing amazing creatures and characters by bringing every single detail. Every crevice has some detail, and Prime One does it fantastically. The whole diorama as a whole, whoever gets the chance to own them all is going to have like such a beautiful place, beautiful display with all these characters on all this battle. But the creativity that Prime One continues to deliver, it's you know, has no comparison in my opinion. Yeah, there's many companies doing amazing work, but Prime One, they do so much stuff with so many different licenses, and they pretty much top tier on everything. So yeah, that tells a lot about this company and the commitment of this company to produce the best thing possible. Yeah, as you can see, this is gonna be expensive, $2,300 just for this set, and that doesn't include everything else that's gonna be around it. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat, but it's a beautiful, beautiful piece, no doubt. Now, let me go back to Sideshow because we're gonna look at the next piece. If you are into, let me drink some water. Really coming to the end, only 2 more pieces to cover. Now we're gonna get into props. All right. So I want to talk about Factory Entertainment. This company does a lot of props. If you are a fan of Battlestar Galactica, they're selling the Colonial Blaster, $505. It's limited edition piece, but this is a prop replica. You know, I've never been so much into prop replicas, although some things they do I like. For example, I think any fan, if you want to have prop replicas, you have to have, I will tell you this, if you have to have a lightsaber in your collection. That is a must in my opinion. I need to get one. You need to have a Captain America shield in your collection, at least one Captain America. Other props that I would love, definitely a Mjolnir from Thor. A helmet of Iron Man, maybe Boba Fett, maybe a helmet of Darth Vader. Definitely Grogu the Child. That life size is a nice prop. And other than, I don't know, some different weapons perhaps. And if there's a weapon, I would say this one is an option if you're really a Battlestar Galactica. But there's others like the ones from Alien, Predator. I would just love those more. But definitely this is not a bad one if you're Battlestar Galactica. It's pretty cool. The display stand, it's all right, but at least I like it that is be able to sit it there, and that way you can showcase it, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. Does it have any other on this replica? Does it have light-up features? This 3D model was crafted from scratch using the source material as reference. All asymmetry was corrected, any distortion was removed, and any incomplete detail was restored. So they definitely come out with something cute, and it looks really neat. It's a very nice weapon for sure. But when we look at this company, look at other things that they have done. This is from Paragon. This is a different company. This is from Blade Runner. But when you're looking at the things that Factory Entertainment has produced, you know, this is a great thing. They have a lot of props here for sure. But I want to concentrate on Factory Entertainment. The stuff that they do have for sale, or they have done, just to give you a reference as a company. Here you can see some of this stuff. They have done the Power Sword from Master of the Universe. That's something that also would be nice to have. The Sword of Omen, that's another one too that is nice to have. Geordi LaForge, Visor. This, of course, from Star Trek. You have that. The Golden Gun, of course, from 007. Interesting too. The Crown of King Vizier Targaryen, you know, from the... What was that? I just forgot the name of this TV show. The Game of Thrones. So they have all these different things. So it's cool to see the props that they produce. The Phaser, of course, from Star Trek. So they do create things. You know, they have been creating a lot of different items. Very interesting. The Marty McFly sold out, that hoverboard. That's another one that definitely needs to have. Skeletor Sword. So they have things here that are amazing, and you're depending on what's your level of fandom. There's something for everyone, but that power sword, I'm telling you, that's great, and that very cool, good to produce, very nicely done. Even I like it that he has that little stand. Maybe that's something that I need to look to have here. Definitely, I'm looking for certain things to add to the collection. Mainly, I think I need more stuff to display on the walls. That sort of element too. Look at that. And you have interchangeable, and it does have the little thing you can put on to hang it on the wall. It's just amazing. I think this is a great thing. So yeah, Factor Entertainment producing really interesting props. Very interesting viewer. Again, Battlestar Galactica, that Colonial blaster. It's a good thing to have. That's the most recent thing they're offering here. And talking about replicas, but also going into perhaps something a little more on the cheaper side. I will tell you, if we go to Hasbro Pulse back again, and I was mentioning how important it is to have a lightsaber. Well, there's a new lightsaber that you can have. There's always a lot of companies producing a lot of lightsabers. Some are super expensive, but this one here is an option. This is Star Wars The Black Series Force FX Elite Ezra Bridger lightsaber, of course, from Rebels. This is definitely the Ezra Bridger. I think this is when she was the way this was portrayed in the show of Ahsoka. So if you need to have, here's with the light up, very cool, just like that. I do like the stand, the different angles. I think the price is excellent for it. And that little stand looks really neat. Very well done. This is how it comes in the packaging. And this is produced by Hasbro. Hasbro is definitely, they price-wise, they're comparable. They do offer great pricing for this. You can certainly find this at Big Bad Toy Store. And I'm going to use lightsaber. Here you can see, although there's other ones that we have seen. This is the FX Elite, is their own collection. So you can see the different lightsabers that are available here. And I would tell you this, like here you can see $249 for the same, but they also have the Ahsoka lightsaber, $248 available. Not a bad one. If you're collecting different versions, I love the Japanese style, kind of like a katana handle. Very cool. $248, I think it's a great price. Of course, they got Sabine Wren, the Yoda, the Darth Vader, Obi-Wan from Obi-Wan Kenobi. So they have different variations. If you want something more expensive, then definitely you go for EFX as a company. That they do like metallic, everything is super high end, but you're gonna pay the price. And the same with Ahsoka Tano from EFX. Look at that, almost $900, and it has no light up effect. But that is just an actual replica of the handle. So yeah, it's, you know, you give or take. It's not always the best thing. So these are options that you can use. If you're looking for something, definitely why not? That might be an alternative for a fraction of the price that you pay for anything that is more expensive to EFX, and it doesn't have a light up feature. It's just more for display, just there. So yeah, it's an option there. So it's kind of cool that they are producing this. All right, my friends, let me sit a little bit straight here. Back, it's killing me a little bit. Well, I want to say thank you very much for support. Let me drink more water so I can give you my final thoughts. Well, I want to say thank you very much for your support. Do not forget to leave a like, to leave a comment. Let me know you're watching. I appreciate your support. Of course, things are settling here in the house. Still things to get done. Tomorrow I gotta start working on a bookcase downstairs that needs to be put together. Order some stuff from so some Billy cases from IKEA with the Oxford glass windows, and I'm gonna put them together for my wife. So for our book collection too, I have a lot of books still that have been in storage for a long time, for years now. I think some of that stuff it was in storage for over 15 years. So it's time to get them out of there and start just going through all those books and just keep the ones that we keep. You know, the stuff that we used to do when we used to teach Bible stuff, and we were involved in ministry. When I was involved in ministry, pastoring, all that. So we want to keep some of that. We want to go back into some of those things. So kind of going through all this stuff and displaying in a nice place. So I got to put it together. So I'm going to work on that. But I want to say to all you, thank you very much. Definitely, it's cool to see what the companies are doing, always. Definitely, we cannot afford everything. But picking up something to have fun with, that's important. I think that it's important for people to have hobbies. I do believe that it's important for people to... Thank you, Sin. I appreciate it, my friend. Appreciate you watching. It's important for people to find things to do that are positive. I think we live in a world right now that there's had so much negativity with everything that we're seeing, with the politics, with the economy, with everything. We cannot agree on everything. So we have to find positive things to do. And importantly is that we have to find positive things to do and share those things with other people, you know, with friends, with family, very importantly with family. If you have kids, share your passion with them. Let them be part of your hobbies. That it would be my advice. Let them be part of what you do. It's so easy sometimes for men, and I'm telling you, I know from my own experience or my own mistakes, that sometimes I didn't involve my child or my daughter, which is now grown, 24 years old. Didn't involve her as much as I needed to into my hobbies. And that, I think I have paid the price for it, in the sense that our communication suffered a lot for a long period of time. To me, my hobbies, my collecting, all of that was my escape of reality. And hobbies don't have to be escape. They can be a welcoming place to involve people that we care about, and particularly children. And if you have kids, you know, maybe you have nephews or nieces or whatever, you have people in your life, even the kid's neighbor, or it's somebody's friend, somebody that you know that doesn't have a good father or role model, then maybe you can be that role model. It does a lot. I realize that a lot of the things that I do now are a reflection of what my father, who was a good role model, although he has his mistakes, he wasn't perfect. In the end, I remember my childhood and what he invested in me and the things that he showed me. And he was the one who introduced me to comics. He's the one to introduce me to movies and enjoy a lot of the things that I do. He was always there. He introduced me to a lot of the aspects of my life that I enjoy now. He was there to be supportive. So I think it's important to be that way. And I don't want to preach on this, but it goes back to my nature of being a preacher or a pastor, although I haven't really done it in so long. But it goes back to it, you know, like what I do here is not just to patronize people, tell them what to do, but to share the fun things. And definitely companies are doing really amazing stuff, and it's great. All that is great that they do, as long as you have a goal in mind, and it's to share that beauty with other people. Because you're not going to take it with you. None of this stuff here, I'm going to take with me. So might as well just enjoy the time, the opportunities, and enjoy it for what it is, and let it go when it's time to let it go, when I can sell it for more and I can find something else to have fun with. You know, that's how it is. You know, you always have to be ready for that. So my friends, I want to say again, good night. God bless. Good night, all. Let me just write it down. Good night, all. Man, I'm just... Thanks. Man, I'm just... not even paying attention when I'm writing down. Thanks for watching. See you next time. But yeah, keep in mind, we will have all this stuff ready. The timestamps, all of that. So if you can go back to the video. Thank you very much. We will see what happens this week. I haven't done anything with my gaming channel. I need to start maybe doing some videos. I have a lot of stuff now that everything is more set. I need to start working on a lot of videos that I have, some of them for years now, that haven't been edited. I need to start going through all of that now that I have the opportunity, really working on certain things on my time, on the available time, and start just posting videos. And I need to start doing stuff just to kind of keep building the channel, going back to some of the roots of the channel, which is reviews, reviewing comics, action figures, statues, and we're going through all of that. and keep moving. Keep moving with the channel, and definitely invest in the other areas of my podcast too. But I think the channel should be a priority, and then of course move into the podcast and also the gaming channel, which I really enjoy. My friends, God bless. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.